Welcome back to Tech. I'm Adam Housley in Los Angeles. You know, the military has all sorts of fantastic new technology coming out, and here to join us to tell us about what the eyes in the sky is Allison Barrie. She, of course, is our defense specialist and war games columnist at FoxNews.com and has been on the show for a couple of years now. This one's about the Hawkeye airborne digital quarterback. And Allison, you know, I don't know much about this, but from reading your notes and your articles up right now, in fact, viewers can learn about this more on FoxNews.com. Allison's article is there, as well as links to many other articles that she's written. Is this somewhat similar to the fire? When you have a fire in California or anywhere in the West, for that matter, they have one of those planes that flies really high, and it's kind of like he's the quarterback and tells everybody to go. Is that the same kind of idea with this thing?
That's a really great analogy, Adam. So Hawkeye has been a very helpful and important platform for a while. So this is the very latest version. It's the Advanced Hawkeye 2ED. So we've got some great footage we can throw up. Thank you to the Navy of the EC, which has been really useful. It's a very unique looking aircraft, Adam, and it plays exactly that role. Lots of people kind of call it's got kind of a nickname of the digital quarterback, because it does just that. It can get up there in the sky and provide 360-degree surveillance, kind of sweep ahead for any enemy threat, and feed the information back to the warfighters.
Well, I guess my question is, as the Navy and as the military advances, you know, we've obviously downsized significantly. It's all about becoming more automated in a lot of respects. How does this play into that? I mean, I guess, is this going to be kind of old technology working with new, or obviously there'll be new technology in it, but I mean, how does this all play together, I guess is my question.
The Hawkeye plays a really fundamental role in the sort of future vision of the Navy. So we sort of touched on the digital quarterback aspect of it, but Sea Shield and Sea Strike it's also kind of keystone to that, or cornerstone to that. And what I mean by that is, let's say it can work collaboratively with what people call drones, unmanned aerial platforms. What we're looking at right now is it taking off, which is pretty cool footage, I think. But it can also work with the fighter jets, so providing real-time queuing data all the way from the second, say, a fighter jet took off to handle a threat. Say it's a deeply concealed missile launcher, which often happens when you're operating in that littoral space, or that sort of more shallow space going inland, inshore. It can be a very, very serious threat. And with the proliferation of missiles, as you're very familiar with, Adam, it's really important to be able to identify where those launchers are and be able to neutralize them before anyone gets hurt. So what's great is, let's say an enemy is deeply hidden inland. They work out that we're onto them, so they start moving their location. What the Hawkeye can do is provide that real-time data, so track them as they're moving and provide that feedback to the unmanned platform or the manned platform, letting them know where they've moved to be able to neutralize that threat on the move.
So it's basically an advanced aerial scout. I mean, this is a scout from the airplane. How long can it go? Can it stay up for long periods of time, that kind of thing? It
can stay up for long periods of time. I wouldn't liken it to sort of our more sort of predator that people are more familiar with. That this is a slightly different type of platform, and what's great about this advance, Adam, just to touch on one of the new key capabilities where it's really had a breakthrough, is the radar. So it's got this 360-degree radar, and people are describing it not just as next generation. And I know we talk about lots of next generations here because I like to bring very forward-leaning technologies, but they're talking about is this a 2-generation leap, which frankly I've never heard anyone describe a breakthrough like that before. So that really is something. It's 360-degree surveillance. Sorry.
What about protection, though? I mean, if this thing's up there flying at a high altitude to provide us information, I mean, potentially an adversary could send something its way. I mean, so how do you protect it?
I think it's because it's so advanced, it's really great at protecting itself in the sense of anticipating the second a threat might come off the ground, say it's a missile, because it's so good at identifying these so rapidly and can feed that information back so quickly, weaponized platforms can then respond before that threat gets anywhere near the Hawkeye.
Gotcha. And when is this, the question I always ask you when you have these articles is,
sure,
when is this already, obviously we saw it taking off. I mean, this is already being at least tested. When is this going to be fully used, fully applicable?
Right. So the platform that we saw taking off, that aircraft is the last variant. So the most recent one, just last week, the Navy declared that it was operationally ready. And so, as we know, there's lots of carriers out there. This can take off from a carrier anywhere in the world. The one we saw was from the Arabian Gulf, but this newest variation is just fresh off the presses, kind of newly born babe. It's ready to get going operationally. They're already acquired 25 of them, and this summer they put up the money. The military put up the money for another 25. So we'll have 50 of this new breakthrough technology in the hands of our military, which I'm very excited about because it really, really will take our surveillance and the protection of our forces to a whole new level.
All right, Allison Barrie, defense specialist, war games columnist, FoxNews.com. You can see the article online right now. It's up on FoxNews.com. The new Hawkeye aircraft is U.S. Navy's digital quarterback. Also, you can find links to a number of other stories that Allison has done. Some really cool stuff about what the technology in the military is doing for our men and women serving, as well as potentially what it will do for us as consumers down the line. Allison, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Adam.
All right, I'm Adam Housley in Los Angeles, and you're watching Tech Take.